2025 is here and TCR Europe is back. We have got a field stacked with touring car talent, some incredible teams, some sensational drivers, and of course, some incredible racing. I am sure you're as excited as I am about the year ahead. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first weekend of 2025. I'm here with Ruben Fernandez, the new promoter of TCR Europe for 2025. Ruben, first, it's great to have you here in the championship. What I want to ask is, why TCR Europe? We've had difficult seasons up to this point. What have you seen in this championship that you think you can make a difference with?
I was a driver in last 4 or 5 years in TCR driver as well. I have a team in the World Tour from last year. So last year I was driving in TCR Europe, but as you said, last 2-3 years TCR Europe's gone a little bit down. And I want to change something, so I speak with WC, with Nuncio Marcelo, because I was not happy with the TCR Europe, and I want to start to change something. I speak a lot with the team managers, with drivers, with everybody involved in the TCR world, and I was thinking that something can change and something can be better in the future. One of the keys, it's as I said before, I was an amateur driver of TCR, so I know very well people in paddock. I know what the teams need, what the drivers need. So we bet to change circuits, to go in a good weekends with different categories, and also in top circuits. I think this is one of the keys. We are right now focused on the promotion of the TCR, but now let's see what happens, because I'm working right now in 2026. I think we will have good news. My ambition for TCR Europe, I see TCR World, let's say, as a pyramid. World Tour is the goal for everybody. And I think we are one step ahead, one step behind, and we're gonna attract all the young drivers that they are thinking or they are fighting to be in the World Tour.
If I'm a driver and I'm looking where to place my budget in 2026 and beyond, why is TCR Europe an attractive destination for me as a driver? What makes us different, more interesting and more rewarding?
Let's see what happened this year, because as you know, we have a prize for the winner to go to the World Tour, or to go with the entry with some help in tires. And also I'm working very hard to have this winner in the World Tour in 2026. I think this is very attractive for everybody, because at the end, if you know that after hard work, let's say, because you start in the national series and then you go to the South America or you go to the TCR Europe, and then the step ahead is go to the World Tour. So we want to give this possibility to the drivers.
Jimmy Claret driving an Audi RS3 LMS TCR run by the family Claret Sport team took pole position at the Portimão circuit with a 1:50.798 lap time. Let's ride on board then with the French driver as we take a look at this 4.653 kilometre 15 turn Portimão circuit.
Really happy to do this walk today. We saw yesterday during the free practice that we have the pace to battle with the best of the driver. And okay, but the quality is the most important to do a good weekend, to do a good start on the weekend. So we did the job. I think I did a good lap in this good track, low grip track, but really cool. So now I can't wait to race again in TCR Europe, Relive Racing, and I'm happy for my team, for my dad and my own mechanics to do an excellent job today.
So, it is time to finish the talking and start the racing. It's about to get very loud as we go racing for the very first time in 2025 in TCR Europe. Let's go. Green flag waves at the back of the pack for TCR Europe in 2025 at the front of the field. It's a great start for Jimmy Claret. Felice Jelmini returning to TCR Europe comes under immediate pressure from the advances of Eric Genet in the Monlau Motorsport Cupra. Further back, teammate Jensen Brickley also getting involved with Victor Anderson all through the first corner though, and it is lots and lots of drama. Contact for Marco Butti onto the back of Eric Genet, but then heading up into T4 is when the dynamic of the race would change significantly. Unfortunate contact at the front of the pack. Felice Jelmini, Eric Genet and also Marco Butti involved in that incident. Eric Genet would survive that contact, but that would be the last we would see of Felice Jelmini. A massive gap then for Jimmy Claret at the front of the field, while seemingly the rest of the pack squabble as one behind the now slowed Monlau Motorsports Cupra. Further in, Victor Anderson coming under massive pressure from MAGP as one of the two Solite Indigo Racing Hyundai Elantra N TCR cars has a momentary excursion with the gravel here at Portimão. Up front then, it's clear running for Jimmy Claret as Victor Anderson finds himself in the heat of battle. Just like a typical touring car race at Portimão, side by side is absolutely our friend Nick Taylor, the reigning TCR Italy champion there, making his way past Victor Anderson as several drivers further back extend the limits of the racing surface. There's our returning six-time winner Julian Prichet having a look down into the hairpin. That would be the spot of choice for many an overtake all the way through the weekend, the opening weekend of TCR Europe in 2025, as we see two of our young guns, Max Hart and Santiago Concepcion, side by side. Hart coming in from TCR Asia into TCR Europe for a full season in 2025 would definitely be introduced to the category in the most dramatic of ways. Plenty of racing action from the number 69 target competition car as another new driver, Felipe Barberi, for the Icoa Racing Squad paired with Nico Baldan had a bit of a battle, but one of the massive movers, one of the stars of the opening of the session was that man, Nick Taylor for PMA Motorsport, making up great ground from a disappointing qualification session, which would, quite frankly, be the order of the day for many of these drivers. Jimmy Claret, though, having got a substantial lead courtesy of that contact, would soon find that gap reducing at the front of the field. Young Spaniard Eric Genet, in the reigning Drivers' Champion Team Monlau Motorsport, would get the hammer down in these opening stages, closing up that gap, pressuring Jimmy Claret at the head of the field, while further back, in a bit of a swap position, it would be Teddy Claret. Got some pressure applied to the back of Jensen Brickley Monlau in the defensive posture this time, as opposed to teammate Eric Genet, who's in the attacking posture at the front of the pack. Teddy Claret doing a great job, showing good pace in the Claret Sport Audi, proving once again this is a team that is absolutely on the money. Coming in to this first racing weekend of the season, Yunsung Park just behind has a little look at Victor Anderson, but Anderson manages to hold off the attack from the cars behind for now. It would in fact be a great opening race for the MAGP squad. Family run, Matthias Anderson, of course, former Swedish touring car legend. And again, it is wonderful to see Victor back in TCR Europe. It's wonderful to see that team punching very firmly above their weight in what is a stacked field of competition. One of our favourites, unfortunately, Ruben Volt, for the reigning team champion ALM Motorsport, would retire early from this race. it wouldn't be the start to the season for Volt or for Honda that anybody expected, and unfortunately Santiago Concepcion as well, another one of the Honda cohort not having the very best time of it at this opening race of the season here in Portimão. But at the head of the pack, Jimmy Claire would be absolutely imperilous at the front of the field. No way by for Eric Genet, and the first race victory of 2025 in TCR Europe would go the way of Jimmy Claire and Claire Sport, picking up where they left off in 2024.
I feel so good. I have a really good day. So I did a good start. I'm happy with that. And for sure, when you win a race, you need a bit of luck. So I get a bit luck at the start of the race because there is a crash behind me. So I can get a huge gap. So and after Jenny was really flying behind me, and he close to me in 3 or 4 laps, I think. And after that, I tried to do a minimum of mistakes. So it was a long race, really hot in the car. So I'm happy to have the first victory of the.
È stata una gara dura perché partivamo indietro dopo una qualifica disastrosa. Ho dovuto fare un all-in come fosse l'ultima gara di campionato e mi sono divertito perché uno perché abbiamo ritrovato la strada giusta e 2 perché ho fatto un sacco di sorpassi e alla fine dai, sono contento di questo inizio di stagione.
So Jimmy Claire took a fantastic race victory in our first race of the day. The question is, from 10th position, can he score enough points to retain the championship lead? Let's find out. Hello everybody, I'm joined today by Jay Woo Lee, who's a team principal of Solite Indigo Racing, a new team for TCR Europe in 2025. Jay Woo Lee, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
My first question today is, why is the TCR class of racing so appealing to Solite Indigo Racing?
저희 인디고 레이싱 팀의 대표적인 후원사이자 저희 모기업인 그 현대성우 솔라이트는요, 자동차 부품을 생산하는 업체입니다. 그래서 자동차에 가장 가깝게 자동차가 함께하는 그룹이고, 저희는 그 글로벌화된 규격화된 레이스 중에 가장 저희 팀이 참가하기 좋은 레이스가 어떤 것일까 한편 고민을 하다가 TCR이 전 세계적으로 흥행을 하고 있고, 저희 팀은 그래서 TCR에 참여를 적극 고려를 한 상태 2018년도부터 TCR 코리아부터 그 TCR에 참가를 시작했고, 그 이후에 2019년, 2021년 계속 참가를 하려고 했었는데요. 이 팬데믹 때문에 약 한 4년 정도, 3년 정도 그 참가를 못하고, 그 이후에 새로운 어떤 무대를 찾고 있다가 TCR 무대를 찾고 있다가 이제는 좀 더 큰 무대로 가보자. 그래서 2023년도에 이탈리아에 참가하게 됐습니다.
Thank you. So, moving from the generic TCR brand to TCR Europe, you're a new team this year. What attracts you to TCR Europe? Why are Solite Indigo Racing here?
저희 인디고 레이싱 팀은 TCR 이탈리아에 2023년도에 참가를 결정하면서 보다 선진화된 레이스를 경험하고 체험하고 뭔가 공부를 해보자. 그런 목표에서 TCR 이탈리아에 참가를 하기 시작했고요. 약 2년 정도 참가를 하면서 저희가 많은 성장을 했다고 생각을 합니다. 그래서 그 다음 단계로 어떤 보다 나은 경쟁이 치열한 레이스를 할 수 있을까 검토를 하다가 TCR 유럽이 우리한테 가장 다음 단계로 적합한 레이스인 것 같다. 그래서 참여를 결정하게 됐습니다.
Thank you. And my final question, the level of competition this year in particular is very, very high in TCR Europe. What are your hopes and expectations coming into this new season?
오늘 기준으로 지금 레이스 1이 종료가 됐는데, 사실 저희가 그 윈터 시즌에 준비를 상당히 많이 했습니다. 많이 했는데 어느 정도 저희가 예상했던 결과치보다 조금은 좀 낮은 결과가 나왔고, 상당히 치열하고 그 유럽의 각국에서 뭐 드라이버들을 보니까 각국에서 한 번씩은 우승한 경험이 있는 아주 능력 있는 역량 있는 드라이버들이 많이 모여 있어서 저희가 성장하고 자극을 받는데 아주 좋은 레이스가 될 것 같습니다.
Fantastic. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us, Jay Woo Lee, team principal of Solite Indigo Racing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So ahead of race 2, the big question is, will we need this thing? The race has been great in the opening round. Jimmy Claire took the victory. Who is going to score the biggest points in our second and final race of the day? Let's find out. Race 2 would see a reverse grid, Max Hart from Jenson Brickley on the front row of the grid, and in typical TCR touring car style, that reverse grid would produce a sensational race. Immediately on the attack from the start of the event, Jenson Brickley throws the car down the inside despite the best defensive attempts of the target competition machine of Max Hart from pole position. With that decisive overtaking manoeuvre, the story of Jenson Brickley's race would continue to go from strength to strength as further through the pack several drivers jockey for position using all of the racetrack and perhaps a little bit more, heading now down into the famed hairpin, treating the spectators at Portimão to some great racing action. There we can see the Claret Sport Audi, not passing just one but two cars in a single manoeuvre. It would be eyes on stalks time for the entire TCR Europe field during these opening encounters, but thankfully for the spectacle at least, everybody survived pretty much intact from the first few corners. At least we see a very aggressive Monlau Motorsports Cupra trying to go around the outside, but look at this one. Felipe Fernandez catching Max Hart napping with an audacious move to the inside of the penultimate turn. That would be a great performance from the Spanish driver. Fernandez moving up into second position as several drivers find the early going tough as they're looking for grip from their Kumo tyres around the scorching Portimão racetrack. Unfortunately though, the heat was high for a different reason further back as Eric Genet made contact with the luckless Felipe Yelmine for not the first time this weekend. Yelmine suffering damage but not as severe as Spanish driver Genet. That would be the last time we see that car in the race as Yelmine's teammate Nick Taylor gets very sideways indeed, and Marco Butti staying in the race after his race one contact has a fantastic dice with the Solite Indigo Racing Hyundai, just on about getting through before the safety car interventions that would follow in a few moments' time. Nick Taylor in the number 17 PMA Audi showing those elbows are as sharp as anybody else's in the field as we take a little replay of the last time we see Giacomo Gamandi. Unfortunately for Gamandi, a bad weekend becomes even worse as he's turfed off in unceremonious style, causing the first safety car intervention of the day. Bad timing for Julien Brichet as he brings his Hyundai down pit lane. Mechanical issues would see the last of the French driver in action. When we did eventually get back in to green flag racing conditions, Jenson Brickley at the front of the field was dynamic, getting an early race lead from Felipe Fernandez. The chasing pack further back though, hungry to not let the British driver escape, proverbially climbed over the top of each other, sometimes a little bit too close for comfort. As we see now, Max Hart under massive pressure from Marco Butti, the returning Italian driver, looks one way and then the other. A stoic defence from Hart, but unfortunately the pace was definitely in favour of the Honda driver, and that defence would come to very little as Butti finds his way past and moves up another position. It's been an impressive return to TCR Europe for Marco Butti, having spent last season in the Kumo FIA TCR World Tour. He's going to be a driver to watch out for, just like that man, Ruben Volt, as he escapes a little bit of trauma between once again a Solite Indigo Racing Hyundai finding itself turfed off onto the extremities of the Portimão track, but all eyes to the front of the field, and Jenson Brickley takes his debut victory for what has been an incredibly strong start to the 2025 TCR Europe Racing Championship.
Feels amazing. I mean, it's really good now. Obviously, we've done 3 seasons of TCR, and to have a win in each category feels great. I didn't think it would come this early in TCR Europe, so yeah, a mega start to the season. Yeah, couldn't have hoped for a better weekend really. It's been really good the start of the season. I mean, we had a couple of difficulties at the start of the year with track limits and then a bit of a steady race at Motorland, but the 2 rounds getting under my belt in TCR Spain has helped massively. I mean, we're already running by the time we got to TCR Europe this weekend, so yeah, really good. But the team are mega, so yeah, can't fault.
It was at the end a tough weekend because yesterday we are including in a crash with other 2 drivers, and especially one of that did a bit a crazy move, but okay. We don't start like the season like we want, but today we finish with a P3 podium, take some points. Also the qualifying went quite good, and yeah, we are happy. We are still working on the car and with the new team, Motorsport.
The race today was a bit tough because it was the first race of the season with that weather, and we suffered a bit inside the car. But the start was amazing. I did an amazing start, and I overtake 2 cars on the start, and then I overtake a third one on the first lap, and I stay on the second place.
The season is complete and we've had a great weekend here at Portimão. Join us again on the weekend of the 16th to 17th of May as we head to the legendary, the beautiful Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Thank you for watching, and until then, goodbye.